What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Okay, so I hope this works a little bit better, and I hope that everything sounds okay. I'm using a different software setup so that the audio quality and the video quality is going to be better. But we'll give this a shot and check it out, and I'm going to test this to see how it works. So for this test, we're going to be reacting to Coach Lee. So let's take a look, make sure everything is good. Sound, headphones, perfect. All right. I'll probably cut all that shit out anyway. All right, let's get to it.
This is Coach Lee, and in this video, I'm going to share with you why your ex must come to you in order for it to work out and you two to get back together. Take a quick second and click the subscribe button below so you can be notified when I have more videos.
Click that subscribe button.
I'm going to go over 5 reasons why your ex must be the one to come to you if you want this to work out long term or even short term. And I'm going to give you a bonus at the end just because I'm a nice guy. So be sure to watch all the way to the end to get all the reasons and the bonus. And it's important that while you're watching my videos, you take your time. You don't just try to get through the video. You actually absorb these things. You don't get in a rush. You write them down. You take notes. This stuff is important because, as many of you have learned, when your ex reaches out or when you have one of those days of doubt where there's panic, where there's anxiety, a lot of times you begin to question things. You feel
Yeah, I have to agree with that because look, guys, I'll tell you guys to read, right? I'll be like, hey guys, you need to read. You guys need to be, learning this shit. You guys need to be doing it. And then you're only doing that because we tell you to. And you're like, okay, because Coach Lee or Kyle or whoever it is that you listen to or follow told me to, I'm actually, some sort of magic is going to happen. Guys doing that do coaching calls with me, they're like, please just give me some sort of magic formula. They're saying it without saying it, right? So I got to agree with that because it's like, guys, there is no shortcut to this work. Reading the materials, there is no shortcut, guys. You guys have to crush it.
you have one of those days of doubt where there's panic, where there's anxiety. A lot of times you begin to question things. You feel like you don't know what to do, like there's no plan. And so the more you can ingrain these principles, the better your chances of getting your ex back if that's what you want to do and if that's the best thing for you. So reason number 1 is a long-term reason. It's important to get your ex back short-term, and it's important to keep them long-term, and that is your attraction. Because when they come to you and you're sitting across from them, they're making a request where they are wanting to get back together with you. You are in the position of attraction. You have attracted them back, and they are witnessing this. They are watching themselves go through this as they come to you, as you were able to stay away. And attraction is so important. And I'm not just talking about physical attraction, though that's part of it. And we would be lying to ourselves completely if we acted like it weren't.
Right.
There's 3 areas of attraction: physical, emotional, and intellectual. And you want all of those. You want all of those in yourself, and you want all of those in a partner. When attraction falls, especially emotional attraction, that's when breakups happen. And emotional attraction can fall because the other person is bad to you and mistreats you for long periods of time, or because maybe they let themselves go. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking more emotionally. Like they don't do the things they did at the beginning. And you should be doing those things too. You both should be.
They stop giving a shit, right? That happens a lot. Here's the thing. You guys have to care about yourselves too. That's one of the most important things to a relationship, guys, is caring about yourself and where you're at, especially as a man. Okay, men, we have these challenges and things that we got to deal with. So you guys have to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. Don't let yourself go about yourself, even though that sounds fucking weird and corny. But it's true. And then, because how do you expect your partner to care about you if you don't care about you and where you're at mentally and emotionally, right? And again, we have to understand women want certain things, men want certain things, and there are certain things and areas we're going to lie in there. But at the end of the day, you guys have to take care of yourselves. And that means understanding this stuff, right? So going back to the beginning earlier, it's you can't ignore the work and how this is going to affect you. Sedona method, letting go, and all the dating books, right? I'm actually going to create a kind of like a badass like Google Doc that only I can edit, but you guys can, use the links, or maybe I'll do a Word doc or something like that. But anyway, you guys will be able to, and then I'll make notes in there and write in there so that you guys can use that as a resource for your breakups and dating stuff. Somebody was like, bro, write a book, bro. And a lot of the books that I would read, it would never be a traditional book. It would be kind of like a point form. Hey, these are my thoughts about this in dating and how you conduct yourself as a man. That is probably what I would do if I were to ever write a book. And it would be kind of like a Bible for you guys, okay? So maybe I'll call it the Masculine Bible, something goofy. So that sounds so corny. But anyway, let's go.
Be courting and pursuing each other in an ideal relationship. It's not ideal right now because they've broken up with you, and so you need to back off and let them pursue you. But attraction is at the heart of most breakups, a loss in attraction. And when you pursue them, your attraction stays about where it was when they broke up with you. But when you back off, give them the breakup, and let them pursue you, that's when your attraction can go back up. You become the one in the position of attracting and not the one chasing. You become the chased, which is good for this moment in time. When the relationship gets back to where it should be down the road, you will be mutually chasing, mutually pursuing, which is how it should be. But for the moment, it's not how it should be. There's a problem, or else you wouldn't be watching this video. So the reason you want to make sure you let your ex come to you, attraction, your attraction. Reason number 2 that you want your ex to be the one to come to you is because they need to be ready. They will come to you when they're ready. And this is not just a simple matter of arguing about the definition or the timing of coming back or being ready. The point is that if your ex is ready to get back together with you, meaning they have actually had to experience some of the things I'm going to talk about in just a little bit, then we know that they are ready, and they know that they are ready, and
when they're quote unquote ready, right? That's a better still. When they're ready, they have to go through the relief stage first, guys. And the relief stage is just the beginning, okay? It's the beginning of everything. And basically, this is when because when they break up with you, through those weeks leading up to it, right? Leading up to the breakup, they're going to go, okay, you know what? This is really not working for me. And it's a buildup. It's like a pressure. And once that pressure pops, they break up with you, right? Then it's going to take time for those emotional dials to come down. So you guys have to let them go through that. And a lot of guys, especially the ones that are like, this stuff doesn't work, your exes never come back. When people say that kind of stuff, and a part of it is because many of you should move on. You've been chasing for 6 months. But a big part of it is because those guys and people like that they never did this whole thing properly. They never fully removed themselves and walked away. Some of them did, and they never did come back. That's obviously a thing. But anyway, keep going.
Then we know that they are ready, and they know that they are ready, and they feel like it's time. There's no doubt. They don't feel like it's rushed, or maybe that they were too quick to get back together with you. You don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff that actually causes reunions to fade out and the person to pull away again. They are most receptive when they're ready. So sometimes maybe they notice that you're not contacting them. They start to think they could lose you. They see that. They see the reality of the situation, that you're strong enough to stay away. And so they start moving towards you casually at first. I talk about that in several of my more recent videos about how an ex will actually come to you when they're ready to get back together, or when they're at least considering it. And it's not always direct. So don't expect that it's just going to be this direct request to get back together. A lot of times it's casual, and they're just kind of checking in and seeing how you are in terms of your openness and your receptiveness to getting back together, because nobody wants to be rejected, and people will avoid it.
Facts.
And they will try to get an idea of what's going on. And so even then, you don't just take it all back at once. You don't just give it back to them at once. You tell them you're open, but you want to take it slowly, and you move slowly, because again,
that right there is fire. Move slowly. I want to go slow, because right now that you're dictating your leadership of yourself when you say we're going to move slowly, we're going to move at this pace. Because if you move too quick, you're sub-communicating weakness, and because when you're too emotional, everyone knows that you can't think clearly. And then when you're too emotional, you're going to make bad decisions, okay? So if you rush back into things too quickly, again, you're going to sub-communicate weakness, and you're just going to end up right back where you were. So.
And it is so important that your ex is ready. Don't rush this. Good things come to those who wait, to those who are patient, and to those who persevere. You try to steal it, usually you get caught, and it doesn't work out well for you. The same is true when trying to reattract someone. It needs to be organic and natural, and when they're ready, that's when things are most powerful, and that's when you have the best chance of getting them back like you want and also keeping them. Be sure to check out my emergency breakup kit. I'll link to that in the description below. It's the culmination of my 20 years in the relationship coaching service. It can help you get your ex back. Take a look in the description below and I'll have a link to it. And be sure to hit that subscribe button as we move to the third reason. You should let your ex be the one to come to you. The third reason is that it teaches your ex a lesson. And no, I'm not saying that in some tough guy kind of, we're going to teach them a lesson kind of way, even though perhaps there's a sliver of that going on. What it teaches them is that in the future, if they start feeling things fade, if they start thinking that maybe there's a brighter sunrise somewhere else without you, and they start thinking maybe they want to break up again, they have to remember that you didn't fix what they broke, that you stayed back, because that's a different matter. If they feel like if they break up with you, that you'll chase, that you'll fight for them, that you'll make it easy, that you'll be right there, and they won't have to worry that the breakup was a mistake, then it's going to be easier to break up with you. That's just human nature. If you think someone will fix what you broke, if you think someone will clean up your mess, if you think someone will bail you out when you spend poorly, the temptation is there to do those things, to not worry about the consequences because someone else will bail you out.
Does that sound like shit that's happening today in modern day dating? Like, you know what? That's for another video. Probably another channel.
And you can't let them think that. You need to teach them that you will not fix what they broke. And that is what they can reflect on and remember if this happens to come up again. And relationships go through ups and downs. There will be days of doubt. There will be difficult times, arguments, frustration, hurt feelings, even rejection from your partner. And those things are difficult. They should not be something that lasts long term. It shouldn't be how the relationship is always, or else the two of you probably don't need to be together, but it will happen occasionally. That's just because people are not perfect. Humans are not perfect. But when those times come up that are just occasionally, that are part of human nature and human relationships, you want your ex to know that you will not bail them out. That if they make this mistake, that there's a risk that they could lose you. That's what you want to teach them. That's what you want your ex to learn. And that's why you need to let them be the one to come to you. Number 4. You want your ex to have the experience of missing you. That is so important because they need to know that when you're not there, that when they kick you out of their life, that they miss you, that they see you had a place, that you're not there and they take note, that their heart feels emptier, that they feel lonely.
And to add to that, okay, as you improve yourself, right? See, as you learn and read these books and you lose your weight and you start working on yourself and you really start working on your mental state, you are going to look back at the previous version of you because you're going through something completely new and you're going to say, man, that was weak. That was weak behavior. I could have done so much better. And here's another piece of advice, please. Don't beat yourself up for mistakes that you've made. If it cost you your relationship, that sucks. But going forward, make sure you don't sit around and wallow in your grief. The only thing that's going to happen with that is just going to cause this loop of anger, sadness, anxiety, depression, and it's going to create just more negative energy. And remember, you want to be trying to move towards CAP, courage, acceptance, and peace, right? So as you move forward and learn about your mistakes that you're making, you have to also learn how to let all of them go, okay? I've seen so many students of mine get so caught up in the mistakes that they've made, and they forget that they're still human, right? They're still human, and they're still, learning. Let's say it like that. They're still learning, okay? And that's one thing you guys all have to remember is you're still, you guys are human beings, and it's okay that you're going through what you're going through. The only thing that you have to remember is that you're going through something on purpose. You're learning from this experience. You are learning from this pain. Okay? So you're learning from this pain. And the point is you're supposed to learn the lesson and learn what you were supposed to learn and then move the fuck on, right? And especially as a man, because as a man, you just got to keep it moving. You just got to keep going, right? And I'm not saying it's like just forget about your feelings, but as soon as you accept that the only person that's going to care about how you feel is you, the better off you're going to be quicker.
Even when they're around other people, it's not the same. You want your ex to miss you. It's one of those things that some couples don't get to experience often, especially if you're with this person permanently. Some couples are never away from each other, and some people can handle it.
And to add to that as well, sorry, I keep pausing, but he's making fantastic points. Injecting space into a relationship by being purpose-focused and mission-focused as a man is going to carry the relationship far, because you're spending a lot of time working on your business, working on your body, hanging out with your friends, and etc. Right? You have your own life, and you're nurturing that, and you love that. The fact that a lot of women will actually try to get their men to stop hanging out with certain friends. Stop hanging out with Sam. He's a bad influence on you, right? The second that she knows that she can control you, it's over. Okay? So you have to cultivate and understand your individual life. Apologies. You have to make sure that you are, again, taking care of you, your mission, your purpose, and making sure that you're happy, because that is ultimately going to create a great place for other people to want to be. Okay? And then when you use that to your advantage, you're going to go, oh, okay, that's where I went wrong. And then you're going to be able to invite other women into your, other women will want to be a part of your life. You can ask a girl on a date and, she'll go out with you and hang out with you and everything's cool. And then she sees how confident you are, how happy you are. And then she'll go, you know what? This is a great place for me to be. Okay. And then she'll want that. World of Tanks wants me to play or something like that. I don't remember what that was.
It's not a bad thing necessarily, but in this situation, there's actually a silver lining. If your ex misses you, it's similar to point number 3, that it's something they learn, but it's something that they go through. And it actually raises your value on the other side because they have been without you and they missed you.
That's 100% true. Again, going back to your individual life being awesome as fuck, they will value your time a lot more when you value your time a lot more.
When they are with you, it is less likely that they'll take you for granted. Your value will be where it should be because they got to experience missing you and feeling that life was not what it should be without you. So while it hurts, while this is not a good situation, it has a silver lining, and this can actually be a long-term benefit for your ex to experience this. Let your ex miss you. Let it happen. Be willing to be a bull in the china shop and throw a few dishes in the air to hear them break on the floor. Let your ex miss you. So reason number 5, and after, is the bonus. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and also to check out my emergency breakup kit, and there's a link to my tip jar in the description below as well. So reason number 5, before I get to the bonus reason, is your ex trusts it more when it comes from them. Have you ever had the feeling you were talked into something?
He's about to go into, it needs to be your ex's idea. It does, right? Because look, as you give them space, they're going to think about you more. Sometimes some people just move on. Let's just get that out of the way. But they're going to think about you more, and they're going to be like, maybe it was a bad idea that I broke up with him, and then bam, that's the thought that you need. But if you're trying to convince them, oh, you should be with me, they're just going to go, bro, you have to go through the process of the relief stage, and then the next stage is subsequent to that. We're going to react to that soon, but you need to let them go through that, and they need to be space is important, guys, and women, the one thing they want during a breakup is fucking space. So
trusts it more when it comes from them. Have you ever had the feeling you were talked into something? Like maybe you weren't so sure, and then someone kind of encouraged and nudged and bugged and prodded and pushed you, and you kind of said, okay. It's a little bit frustrating. You don't really trust it. You wonder if you made the right decision. That's not what you want your ex to feel. You don't want your ex to feel like you talked them into it. For starters, in those days of doubt, those difficult days in a relationship that most relationships go through, that I mentioned in the last point, when those happen, you don't want your ex to say, see, I kind of felt like maybe this wasn't coming from me, that this wasn't something I trust, that this came because I was pushed and forced and prodded into doing this. You don't want them to think that. If they come to you and they are the ones who learned what they needed to learn, who experienced missing you and could see, no, this is not what I want, that's when they trust it because they're ready, like I mentioned early on. When they trust it, that's when you can trust it long term, that they're not going to look at it and think, maybe I was just talked into this. But when it comes from within them, and when you don't just respond right away with, yes, of course, but you say, I'm open to it, let's take it slowly, I want to take this slowly, that's the best way to go. It lets things happen organically and naturally, and they will trust it. And when they trust it, they can trust the relationship. They can feel like this is how it should be, that they weren't just pushed back into this because you wanted it, but because they wanted it. So let them come to you so they'll trust it. And for the bonus reason on why you should let your ex be the one to come to you, it returns the power that you had before. And I don't mean dictatorial power. I just mean the power of making a decision, making your own decision.
And that's one thing you guys fail at a lot, is being stern about what you want. I've seen so many guys that have come through my coaching and they're stuck in this limbo phase. They're like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do. And women, okay, this comes back to the masculine and feminine energy dynamic. Men lead the whole leadership, so masculine energy, leadership, direction, purpose, drive, move. That also comes with making a fucking decision. The amount of guys that will go, hey babe, so she'll say, hey babe, what do you want to do tonight? He's like, I don't know, what do you want to do tonight? She just wants you to take charge. Even, and because, you might be afraid of what she might be thinking or what she'll react like, then, it's like, guys don't want to make that decision because they don't want their girl to be mad at them or something like that. But at the end of the day, if you make a decision, she's going to be put into her feminine and you're going to be in your masculine, and you guys are going to be working off of each other more because really all she wants to do is just do whatever you want to do. When a woman really likes you, she wants to be around you and what you do, okay? But when you can't decide, oh, I'm just going to walk away from this because this ain't working for me, you have to be looking out for yourself. Women respect men that do that. But guys who are like, I don't know, right? They get rejected more, but their ex just doesn't respect them as a man. That's the truth. And then at the end of the day, you're going to be stuck because you're like, what do I do now? And then you're like, you get fucked. So,
do you want this person or not? They get to come to you,
right?
Instead of you having to come to them. Your ex was the one who got to make the decision before, so they had the power. You were at their mercy. They were the ones deciding this relationship was over. You want that back. You want to be able to have a say. And when it returns it to where it's mutual, where they're asking and you are accepting, and now you two are choosing to be together, that's a much better situation. You want the power to be equal. That would be ideal. Some of us might say, well, I'd rather have more power. I get that, but ideally it would be pretty much equal. And this helps accomplish that because you get to make a decision. You get to be the one having a request made of you instead of you begging for mercy. And that gives you the best chance long-term of being together with this person that you love. If you like this video, if it was helpful, please click the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Take a look at my emergency breakup kit. Leave me a tip if this video was helpful. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.
Guys, leave Coach Lee a damn tip. Where is it? Right here. I'm going to put that in the description box. Leave him. Actually, I'll leave the link to this video in the description box and you guys can do it. Leave the damn man a tip. Now, if someone really loves, this is a comment by AK. If someone really loves you and wants to be with you, they'll come to you. Don't ruin your lives for anyone. Facts. The strongest negotiating position is to walk away and mean it. That's exactly what I was just saying a second ago. It's the masculine frame that you need to cultivate and use in order to attract and keep her going, okay, you know what? Again, the word I'm looking for is fucking polarity. I couldn't think of it for some reason. That polarity always needs to be there. And if you're not masculine, by taking direction and saying, you know what, this ain't working for me, dude. Peace, right? She's never going to respond correctly. So it's when you don't act and you're just in limbo because you're afraid of your feelings and afraid of what she's going to think of you or whatever the fuck it is. That's when she's not going to trust you, your confident masculine frame, fellas. Coaching is going to be down below in the description box, and it's not on the screen because that's a different that is a different software. I think that software was the issue, but I'm using OBS now. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Done.